Hello, my name is Corey Pearson, and in this video we're going to look at how to download, unzip, and install CreativeStudio 7.0 on our computer. The first thing that you want to do is open up your internet browser and come to Gamal.com. Once the web page has loaded, as you can see here across the top, we have a bunch of different tabs. You want to hover your mouse cursor over Education, and you want to come down to Software and Updates. You want to left click on Software and Updates, and you'll be brought to the Software and Updates page. Along the bottom of my screen, you can see that it says click here to download CreativeStudio 7.0. You want to left click on that, and this is going to take you to the CreativeStudio 7.0 download page. Once again, at the bottom of my screen, you can see here that it says download CreativeStudio 7.0 zip file. What I want to do is left click on that. Now, depending on what internet browser you are using, the installer will appear in a few different places. If you are using Google Chrome, the installer download will appear in the bottom left corner of your browser, as shown here. If you are using Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge, like I am using in this video, the installer download will appear at the bottom of your browser. Or if you're using Firefox, the installer download will appear at the top right of your browser, as shown here. And it's going to ask me to either save, save as, or cancel. I want to click on Save. And once I click on Save, the installer will begin downloading onto my computer. Please remember that depending on your internet speed, this process can take a few minutes. Once the installer has finished downloading onto your computer, what we're going to do is we're going to come here and we're going to left click on Open. So I'm going to left click on Open, and it's going to open up a window here for me, and I'm going to minimize out of my internet browser at this time, and it's going to open up my window here. Now what I want to do is I want to extract this zip file. I want to unzip it basically, okay? So here at the top you can see where it says Extract All, and I want to left click on Extract All, and you can choose where you would like this to extract. Normally just the address that pops up in here is just fine. So we're going to use this one. I'm going to click it, left click on Extract, and it's going to run through the extraction process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on where it says CreativeStudio _ 7.00 installer. I'm going to right click and come to Run as Administrator, and I'll left click on that. Windows is going to ask you if you want to allow this app to make changes to your device. You're going to left click on Yes. If you have a Windows 7 computer, it is important to note that Windows might ask you to install a .NET framework at this point. Tell it yes and allow the computer to do a reboot. Once the computer has completed its restart process, the installer will resume. You want to go ahead and install these Microsoft SQL servers, so we're going to left click on the install right here. It's going to ask you to choose directory for extracted files. All you want to do is click OK, left click on OK with whatever pops up in this. You don't want to change anything in here, just left click on OK. And it's going to begin the install process for an SQL server. It is important to note that if you have a Windows 7 computer, the SQL database may take up to 20 minutes to install. Once the SQL server has been installed, CreativeStudio will prepare for its install process. You'll be brought to an Install Shield wizard, and we're going to left click on Next. We're going to agree to the terms and conditions and click Next. At this point, CreativeStudio 7.0 will begin its install process. If you get an error 1500 during this process saying that there is another installation in progress, just wait about 30 seconds and then click Retry. Whenever the install wizard has completed, we're going to left click on Finish. Now, depending on whether or not you're installing this on your standalone computer or on your Stitcher, you will see some different messages throughout the process. One of them, if you are installing it on your Stitcher, it's going to ask you what mod you're using for your controller type. So you're going to make sure you want to select that. And it's going to ask you, of course, to calibrate your machine like it normally does every time you upgrade softwares. Lastly, once the software has successfully installed, I want to show you how to create your Gamal Cloud account. When participating in the cloud, you can synchronize all your patterns on all your devices. That includes your Statler Stitcher PCs, your SAM PCs, and even a backup copy to the cloud. No longer will you need to try and remember to copy newly purchased patterns to multiple computers. The cloud will synchronize your patterns for you, tracking and updating them. So to find our Gamal Cloud account, we're going to come over here to the little avatar, and we're going to left click. As you can see, it says log in, create an account, forget password, or open Pattern Cloud website. So what I want to do is I'm going to come to create an account, and I'm going to enter in my email address and a password. I'm going to then scroll down and make sure that this is set on Cloud User. I'll then scroll down to the Terms of Service where I can read the privacy policy and the terms and conditions. I will agree to the terms of use and then left click to create an account. I will get a success message that shows that my account has been created. So what I can do is I can exit out of this box. I can come over here and hit login. I will then type in the information that I used to set up my account. Once I've typed in my email and password, I can come to log in. Now it is important to note that you do have to have a valid internet connection in order to use this. Once I log in, you can see that I have no patterns in my pattern manager. What I'm going to do is right here where I have this piece of paper, I can left click on the piece of paper and come down that says copy starter patterns to account. I'll left click on copy starter patterns to account, and CreativeStudio will begin copying the patterns to my account. This may take up to 60 seconds. Once the patterns have been copied to your account, you will see that you have 1,204 patterns now in your account. You are now ready to use the Gamal Cloud and take advantage of all the amazing features it has to offer.